I think the Series S is a better console than the PlayStation 5. Okay, let me go ahead and elaborate on that. The Series S is over there on my girlfriend's desk because we play Xbox primarily. It is now our primary console. As I stated in my other videos, my PS5 unboxing video, my Series S unboxing video, I have always been a PlayStation fanboy, if you will. During the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, I would butt heads with so many of my friends because naturally all of them pretty much had PlayStation or Xbox 360s. Me and like 4 of my closest friends, we were on PlayStation 3. You would expect me to, of course, get the PS5 after also having the PS4 and having this huge library of games. I had PSVR, I had just almost every exclusive game PlayStation released. I get the PS5, I get an invite from them saying, hey, thanks for being a PS Plus member for the pretty much literally day one. The second they announced it, I was like, wow. And oh, you bet I rubbed it in my Xbox friend, my friends on 360, their face when I was like, hey, look, online is free, and if I pay, I get so many better benefits than you do. I digress on that, okay? Don't even try bringing that whole argument back up. I've learned gold was better at the time. So you bet that when the PS5 came out, I got that email, I was like, whoa. It was funny too, is I was short on the money, so I literally borrowed money because I got paid the next day, and they said, hey, the queue is. I had gotten the email 2 days prior to the queue, so the queue was that day, a day, and then I had gotten paid the next day. So I went to every person I was like, hey, can I please borrow $600 today? I will literally pay you back tomorrow. And luckily my mom came through for me, so thanks to her, I was able to get the PS5, and I was set. It came 3 or 4 days later. I made my unboxing video, very impromptu, did not plan that at all. I was just like, hey, gave my girlfriend the phone. I said, just record me unboxing it, and I'm gonna upload it because I needed to just get into it. A little bit later, Microsoft sends me an email saying, hey, the Series S is in stock. Order one now. On the Microsoft store. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, okay, cool. Let me do that. So I go through the same process, except there was no queues, there was no high demand, I guess you could say, for the Series S. So I order the Series S, I get it delivered, and quicker than the PS5 did. It only took 2 days. I unboxed it. A little more thing. I wasn't as excited. I was like, okay, all right, it's the Xbox Series S. I got it because they told me. For $300, it's a little more whatever. You know what I mean? It was whatever. So I unbox it. You guys can go watch the video. I open it, and it was small. It was compact. It was a weird experience for me being a PlayStation fanboy. I grew up with Nintendo. My teenage years were filled with PS3, and here I am now. So I do that, and again, I made the comment that, this would be interesting to go ahead and kind of compare the Xbox to the PlayStation 5, because in my head, I figured Xbox is Xbox. I didn't know too much about the Xbox. I knew that it was less powerful than the Series X. I didn't know how much less powerful, and I knew that I could still compare certain games, like probably Call of Duty, which I ended up getting later down the line, but we'll talk about that. I wholeheartedly believe that if you want to jump into next-gen gaming, maybe you're not big in the PlayStation ecosystem. I could get that if you have maybe you have a PS4 Pro, or even a PS4, honestly. Really, if you don't have 4K, if you're not set up for any of that, and you play the occasional Call of Duty, you play Fortnite, you play whatever, this, like that's your, gaming isn't your core, it's just something you relax with after work, but you're like, I want to be able to play the new Battlefield or the new, Vanguard, or, all these games coming out. I want to be able to play those. But man, PS5 is hard to find. Series X is still actually hard to find, and it's $500. I get that. And don't go pay a scalper. Whatever you do, don't go buy one off eBay. Don't go to Marketplace, Craigslist. Don't do that. Okay, that's why they're doing it. Is because people are paying that way. So just get the Series S, and you'll love it. The reason why I have now switched over from PlayStation to the Xbox is, I'll give you the top three. I don't want to get too into it. The top three reasons why I am now on Team Xbox, I guess you could say, versus PlayStation. First off is Game Boost. Now, both consoles offer Game Boost, okay? However, the PS5 locks the frame rate of an older game. The Xbox boosts it. So if I pop in on my PlayStation 5, I popped in what was it? The Killzone Shadowfall. Launch PS4, and I figured this would be the perfect way. This game launched with the PS4, let's go ahead and try it on the PS5. And I was playing it on the PS4 Pro, mind you, which also offers Game Boost. Okay? Keep that in mind. I popped the PS4 Pro, I take it out the PS4 Pro because I was just playing it, and I put it in the PS5. I notice nothing. The 4K upscaling versus the native 4K looks the same. It didn't look different. It didn't look better. Okay, so I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. It is what it is. It was designed the way it was designed, 7 years ago or whatever. What about the frame rate? So I turned on the frame rate thing on my TV, and I said, okay, let's check this out. The PS4 Pro locked it at the 60 frames per second for Killzone Shadowfall. The PS5 locked it at the 60 frames per second for Killzone Shadowfall. The Game Boost just locked the frame rate. That's it. That's all it did. Because when that game was on my PS4, I do remember it dropping frames here and there. That's one of the reasons why I got the PS4 Pro. I got a 4K TV, and I was like, okay, well, 4K, obviously, but also Game Boost, and that's that. But the Xbox, their Game Boost, if I were to download Battlefield 1 right now, I can play that in 120 frames per second. Battlefield 1943 plays in 120 frames per second. Gears of War, not the remaster, the Xbox 360 version of Gears of War, plays at 120 frames per second. I don't know why that blows my mind, but it's as if Game Boost actually does what it says and boosts the game. So that is one reason. The Game Boost is actually Game Boost. The second reason, and this is going to be maybe more controversial, but we'll just get into it, is smart delivery. Now, when the Xbox announced and they said smart delivery this, smart delivery that, I thought it was just marketing mumbo jumbo. I thought, okay, like whatever the heck that means, okay? So here I was thinking, whatever, no big deal. And boy, is it a big deal. Smart delivery, for those that may not know, is a feature that delivers to you intelligently the correct version of the game you're currently playing. For example, let's say you purchased Cold War. Okay, I purchased the game $59.99 new at a Best Buy because I wanted to switch to this. I was playing primarily on my PlayStation, but I said, screw that. That's getting set up to my TV. This is my new desk setup console, okay? Don't judge me on that. So Smart Delivery takes the game and says, here is your Call of Duty game. Are you playing it on your Xbox One? Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, now you want to play it on your Xbox Series X? Well, let's just give you those upgrades. Now you can have the frame rate. Now you can have the ray tracing. Okay? For free. Because in Xbox's head, and this is very consumer friendly, you bought the game for $60. You can play the game. Why would they go through the hassle of saying, hey, you bought the game already. You have the game. You own the license to play this game, right? The license is to the game, not the platform. At least that's the way they're looking at it. So when you buy Call of Duty and you want to bring it over, boom. PlayStation, on the other hand, wants you to pay an additional fee. And they did this heavily with the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I'm not sure if the 360 did this with Xbox One or not. But because it was backwards compatible, I don't think they did. I don't know. I wasn't on that train back then. So, but you have to pay often some game, and it's weird. Some games you play, you pay extra $10. You buy the game on PS4, maybe you got a PS5 now. Oh, give us $10 more and we'll give you the higher frame rates or the ray tracing or the better graphics or whatever it may have been. Other games, you have to buy cross-gen bundles. When I bought Black Ops Cold War on the PlayStation 4, you have to plan ahead. I knew that I was going to get a PS5 at some point. I didn't know if it was going to be within that even Call of Duty year, right? But I was like, at some point I'm going to get a PS5 and I'm going to want to probably play this game on my PS5. So luckily I made the smart decision and said, hey, I'm going to pay the $70 that it costs to get the cross-gen bundle. And then there's other games where you just have to buy two entirely different copies, right? Oh, you got you got the PS4 version of, is it Ghosts of Tsushima, I think is the game I'm thinking of. I'm not quite sure. But I know there's a handful of games where you have the PS4 version, you paid $60 for it. Oh, you want the next gen version now? Go spend the $70 because again, Sony supports the $70 games. It's just you have different avenues. Each game offers their own version or way to upgrade the game. But with Xbox, I pop in the game, or in this case down, I'm going pretty much all digital with the Xbox. So, bought the game. Smart Delivery gives me the correct version of the game. Now, as mentioned before, my girlfriend plays on the Series S. Okay. Now, and this may be a fault. We'll see. Maybe tell me what you think about this in the comments. But PlayStation looks at the PS4 and the PS5 as two different platforms. Perhaps rightfully so, because they are two different generations. But that's how they view it. The way they treat, right, the consoles. This is why you have to buy a different version of the game. This is why they work the way they do. To play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War with my girlfriend at her desk, she would be on the PS4 Pro, I would be on the PS5. That's the only way I could get it to work. Maybe I'm just incompetent, but we tried two PlayStation 4s, and there were always issues. It was very complicated to make the game work for one copy of the game to work for both of us, digitally, mind you. The Xbox, that's built into that's built in. Game share is built in. So all I had to do was say, hey, that's my home Xbox. Her Xbox is my home Xbox. So I don't need to be signed into that account in order to play into her Xbox for her to play Call of Duty. She can just play it on her account, and then I play it on my account, and then we're able to play together. I buy one version of the game on my account. We can both play. It's literally like I just bought two versions of the game. It's so simple. Between the game share, I can buy the game for cheaper because I don't need to pay $70. I don't need to pay, that to get the better version. And then there's Game Pass, and this is the wild card here because I went through the three primary reasons. There's a good chunk more, but Game Pass is ultimately the deal breaker here. Because with Game Pass, which comes with EA Play, I can share my Game Pass as well. She has access to all the Game Pass games. So if there's a game that we want to play together, boom, just download it. Done deal. Those combined, I think I see Xbox as being more consumer friendly. PlayStation, I've had connection issues with. Little things here like my friends list not loading, not being able to change, edit, or even view my account information on the console. I have had Wi-Fi issues. I don't know if the Wi-Fi they're using, there's videos out there of the teardown of the new PS5 model versus the old model, and it looks like the Wi-Fi antenna wire has been changed or updated from 2 separate wires to 1. I don't know if that improves the Wi-Fi, but I've had issues with the Wi-Fi. And overall, the console is more difficult to work with. It comes with a stand. I have to orient it this certain way. It's much bigger. Series X is a very simple piece of technology to work with. I like the way this looks better, but this is arguably easier to work with. You know what I mean? It's a box, simple as that. Some other things I'd like to mention is the controller. I like both controllers. The issue here is the haptic feedback on the PlayStation controller here with the triggers. Love it. It's amazing. It makes it feel new. The issue is it doesn't work well for online multiplayer. I mean, it works, obviously, but it sucks because you're at a disadvantage. You pull the trigger, right? There's this tension, so it's going to take that millisecond longer to versus you gotta fight it. I know it's kind of dumb, not the best argument, and yes, you can turn it off in a game like Call of Duty, but at that point, then you're missing out. You're missing out on that next gen, feature, I guess you could say. So, but it works great for single player games. The games offered on the PlayStation 5 are more cinematic. Sony, arguably, and this is objectively, I would say, you get better cinematic and better story on the PlayStation 5 games. God of War, Uncharted, Persona 5, you get, what are some other, The Last of Us. Like, you get these amazing stories that are designed to be played on a big 4K TV, while the Xbox gives you a lot more first-person sort of games. You got Sea of Thieves, Gears of War isn't first-person, but Gears of War. You've got Halo, Call of Duty just runs better on the Xbox for whatever reason. Maybe it's the power, maybe it's just I don't know, but there's that. So because of that, the frame rate arguably is more important. Even for a game like Forza Horizon 4, I would argue that I would rather have frame rate over ray tracing or something like that for that game, because when you're racing, again, it's a competitive thing. It's just better to have the frame rate for those sorts of games. And another thing I like, now I've picked up for both platforms a pair of headsets. Here I have the Turtle Beaches, the Stealth 600s, and then this is the Astro 820s. Very similarly priced. I think these are like $20 more, but same, probably a little better build quality, I would say, compared to these. Both are great. I have one issue with each of them. The issue with the Astros, and this is something I've grown to learn with PlayStation, is I don't like taking up USB ports. Okay, I have external hard drives. I have the whole VR thing alone for the PlayStation, which I have the PSVR, and that is again another thing that's better suited for living room play. It takes up USB ports. Xbox, a lot of headsets that are certified work with the Xbox wireless technology, so this pairs to the Xbox the same way a Bluetooth headset would pair to your phone. It just connects. I can actually turn on my Xbox from the headset. I just turn on the headset, the Xbox will power on. Little things like that, little conveniences I've come to notice. And while I'm on the topic, I might as well throw in the storage expansion. So yes, the external hard drive situation is the same. You plug in an external hard drive, you can play older gen games. PlayStation 5 uses a standard M.2 drive that on paper is a good idea. It's consumer friendly. You can pick your own drive, but then they say, hey, you need a heat sink. Well, okay, that's another piece you have to get. And then they're also harder to find because now you're directly competing with PC players who also want these SSDs to load the next gen games faster. You know what I mean? So that's a mess. It's very easy to mess up. Okay, you gotta find ones that fit certain dimensions, certain height requirements, blah blah blah. You have to make sure you don't forget the thermal paste and or padding or however that's worked. You can go purchase a M.2 drive that has a built-in heat sink. It's probably going to cost more money than if you just put it on yourself. It's not something, you know, the average mom, I guess, maybe could do for their son, right? If their son wants the PS5 and they're like, oh, I gotta have more memory because Warzone and Fortnite and blah, 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 it's not as consumer friendly. But it is. You know what I mean? And it's not an issue for someone like me or probably even you watching this because you're kind of in the know and you know exactly, you know, there's many videos out there. That's the thing too. There's going to be a lot of videos saying, hey, this one specifically, and a lot of people are going to have to wait until basically Western Digital or Seagate or whoever comes out and says, hey, this is plug and play pretty much. Plug it in, boom, you know. But then a lot of people don't like, you know, oh, I got to take the cover off. I got to unscrew something. I got to plug it in. I got to tamper with it. And again, that's not a big deal. But from a consumer standpoint, Xbox's expansion card is literally just a memory card. It's like a memory. I mean, it is a memory card. And it's hot swappable. That's the biggest argument I have is if I ever fill up, I have a 1 terabyte console, I have a 1 terabyte expansion card. I even bought one for my girl's Xbox, and yes, that costs more than the original Xbox Series X, but also a lot easier to find than the Series X. And you can also find them cheaper, by the way. They're not, yes, they're $220, but a lot of people on eBay selling them for $180, $170. I saw them as low. So, some guy was selling 2 of them for $150 each if you bought both, so $300, and it's a pretty good deal for how much memory and the speed you're getting. So little things like that is the expansion is hot swappable. So if I'm playing a game and I'm like, oh shoot, I want to play another game, but it's not on this expansion card, it's on another one. Quit the game, go to the home menu, unplug it, plug in the other expansion card, maybe Battlefield on one, Call of Duty's on the other. Take out one, pop it in, boom, just like a memory card. The only thing I think they should have done is maybe just added multiple expansion spots. Maybe they say, hey, this is a console that someone may want, you know, if you have a 1 terabyte external hard drive, you got 1 terabyte internal, give me 2 terabytes, and they'll probably just create 2 terabyte, you know, things. And that's an argument to be made for the PlayStation 5. You can go purchase a 4 terabyte NVMe drive, but that's going to cost you, I think, $1,500, including heatsink. But as of right now, the Series X, and with that, the Series S, for those same reasons I just mentioned, is a better purchase, and right now, the better console than the PlayStation 5. The PS5 is best for a living room setup with the 4K. If you have the HDMI 2.1, that's perfect. But PS5 is great at delivering those cinematic games, those rich stories, and stuff like that. But the Xbox, if you just want to jump into Fortnite, if you just want to jump into Warzone, if you just want to play the next Battlefield, the next Call of Duty, or Tom Clancy game, or whatever, Series S alone is the best bang for your buck. I literally cannot, I would recommend the Series S over the PS5, and definitely the Series X over the PS5. So that's pretty much it. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me because the PS5 is more popular right now. Really look at it without a bias and really look at it from a perspective of which one offers me the best package for the same money. It's the Xbox. It is the Xbox Series. Both Xboxes offer you a better packaged deal than the current PlayStation 5. And there's obviously a lot to happen. We have these big games coming out. We have years to go with these consoles. We have revisions. I mean, PlayStation already did a revision with the heat sink and whatnot. So a lot could happen between now and then. But as of right now, that is where I'm at. So anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.